Hi everyone, this is Tamara with Empower Multimedia. I'll be showing you how to apply for a nonprofit in Texas. Stay tuned. You will have to start a nonprofit in Texas according to the rules of the state and then apply for 501c3 status with the IRS. Let's see how to do that. Firstly, you have to name your nonprofit organization. Make sure to pick a name that complies with Texas naming requirements. Follow the naming guidelines. The name you pick for your organization must not include words related to the United States Olympic Committee, terms associated with financial institutions such as bank, band and trust, or trust company. Any words or terms that could be considered grossly offensive. The name does not need to include an organizational designation such as Inc., Ltd., Incorporated, or Company. After that, make sure the name is completely unique by clicking on the first link in the description. This is a name search where you can type in the name you desire and look up if there's any other organizations under that name. Once it's all clear and you have your name ready, you can move on to finding a registered agent. A registered agent is a professional who will serve as your organization's representative to the state while you operate your business. They will receive correspondence such as compliance information and tax notifications on behalf of your organization. Anyone can be your nonprofit's registered agent as long as they meet the requirements. You may choose to be your own registered agent, but it's important to understand that missing even one filing deadline or losing a document could revoke your nonprofit's corporation status, so it's a really good idea to outsource. The next step is forming a board of directors. This is an essential part of creating and operating a nonprofit in Texas. These people will advocate for your organization's best interests in everything from finances to public relations. To be eligible for 501c3 status, the organization structure of your Texas nonprofit corporation must include at least 3 directors not related to each other, a president, and a secretary. To be eligible to apply for 501c3 status, your nonprofit is required to have the following 2 documents: bylaws and conflict of interest policy. Bylaws are the rules outlining the operating procedures of the nonprofit. A conflict of interest policy is the collection of rules put in place to ensure that any decisions made by the board of directors or the officers benefits the nonprofit and not individual members. To register your nonprofit, you will need to file Texas Certificate of Formation, Nonprofit Corporation. You can either file online on the link in the description or by mail through this PDF. The link to a PDF will also be in the description. Put in the name of the entity, registered agent, and registered office information, management information. Check either one of these boxes that state whether the corporation will be managed by members, and then state the purpose of organizing the nonprofit. After that, provide the mailing address to which state franchise tax correspondence should be sent. Provide any supplemental provisions or information. Write down the name and address of the organizer as well as when the document should become effective. Finally, print and sign this document. Mail to the address on top of the first page. The filing fee for a certificate of formation for a nonprofit corporation is $25. Next, you will need to get an EIN, an employer identification number, or federal tax identification number. This number is used by the federal government to identify a business entity. It is essentially a social security number for the company. Before a nonprofit can apply for 501c3 status, it must elect at least 3 directors not related to each other. File the certificate of incorporation with the required provisions. Adopt the bylaws and conflict of interest policy, and have an EIN number. Once these 4 conditions have been met, your nonprofit can apply for 501c3 tax-exempt status by filing Form 1023 online. You will find the link to this form in the description. Make sure to read this document carefully as it goes in depth on what you need to do when applying. If your application is approved, the IRS will send you a determination letter stating that your organization is exempt from federal taxes under Section 501c3. And that's how to file for a nonprofit in Texas. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe, share, like, and comment. If you have any recommendations for future videos, post them in the comments.